Show starts shortly. Just gotta pay some bills. Self Love Show.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
We are, as they say, tangled in our anchor chain. Our financial systems are decades old. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions.
When he was shot in the back.
Family members of the victim say he was complying with police before he was shot 4 times in the back.
I want to repeat that. He was sitting on a marked black and white police motorcycle in full uniform, and he was shot in the back.
One deputy shot him with beanbags, another shot him 4 times in the back.
And if he's willing to do that, I'm sure he's willing to shoot at anybody else. And we collectively, all of us, need to get him off the street.
No, they're ignorant. That's ignorant. They're ignorant. That's ignorant. They're ignorant. That's ignorant.
I should call this shit no block. It's 10 o'clock. Where the fuck y'all niggas at? This is what y'all wanted me in Chicago. O block right here. I should call this shit no block. It's 10 o'clock. Where the fuck y'all niggas at? Niggas ain't outside. It's only 10 p.m. Where the fuck y'all niggas at, blood?
O block right now. Where we at? Tell you something, man. This Nino Brown, man. I'm live on O block right now. Where we at? This O block. I'm from Miami. I just want to tell niggas, man, we gotta stop killing each other, man. Yeah, this shit ain't about nothing. All that killing shit, we gotta work together, man. Stop killing each other, my nigga. I had to come over here and tell niggas that shit, my nigga.
I'm right here. See what I'm at. I'm out here. Black Star Line cigars. For grown man. On some grown man stuff. And to the PDs, stop doing that killing. Please, stop doing that killing.
Brother, I'm wiping it though. I'm gonna wipe it.
That's
I'm gonna say, hey.
Tori's oldest brother. Between us, Tori made me at Beta, and so he just wanted to say a few words before we let you go here.
Okay. Yeah, Brother Thomas, thank you so much for gracing us with your appearance, man. Grateful. You expanded our nation beyond belief. It's just a wonderful thing, and we would like to present you with the Self Love Show first annual Ernest Lee Thomas Achievement Award.
Oh man,
it's apropos that you are the first recipient.
And Noop, we call it the Raj.
We're gonna call it the Raj.
Oh, I love it. Oh man.
Yeah, so we
Oh,
have it on
God.
order. You know, so it's gonna come here. We're gonna show it to the show, and then myself or Tasia deliver it to you or ship it to you from there.
Thank you, brother.
And even in this instance, if I could be of service to a 9-year-old girl or a 19-year-old woman or girl who wants to be a woman, is to really remember that self-love is the best way that you can receive love from anybody else, because it's coming from you. A lot of times we forget that. We look externally for this love. We look externally for this feeling of validation and adoration and approval, and it has to come from within.
All right, y'all. We got Nic in the building tonight. Faux Nic 74. Faux Nic 74. But before we do that, we need to get the music going here, Karen. Stand by for music.
The Self Love Show, giving you more than vitamins and minerals. Food for your soul, information and plans integral to making your mind grow. With more growth and development, BS is irrelevant to the intelligent. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is what we represent. It's the Self Love Show, the Self Love Show, the Self Love Show. We do it for our people. The Self Love Show, it's the Self Love Show, it's the Self Love Show. To expose they don't equal. The Self Love Show, the Self Love Show, the Self Love Show. We wordsmith 9 years. The Self Love Show, the Self Love Show. You know how the story go. It's the Self Love Show.
That's what it is. It's the Self Love Show. First off, the views expressed in this podcast are those of the host and guests and are not necessarily reflective of TATN or any of our affiliates. Welcome to the Self Love Show on This Ain't That Network, or as we affectionately call it, TATN. This is a place where we explore captivating topics to expand our community's minds and ignite our curiosity. I'm one of the co-hosts, Nod Millie. All praise to the ancestors, the Most High, and my late and beloved Mama Sky. In today's episode, we're going to dive deep into the inspiring journey of a powerful young man, Faux Nic 74, formerly known as Nic Wit It. This young man is not just an artist, an activist. He also embodies a powerful transformation from neighborhood life to his burgeoning manhood. His story is one of resilience, creativity, and an unwavering commitment to the community. Today, we hope to explore how he's navigated these roles and made significant impact along his journey. Nic's artistry is deeply rooted in his experiences growing up in the community. His music and art reflects the struggle, hopes, and dreams of our community, resonating with many who face similar challenges. Beyond his artistic endeavors, 4Nic is a passionate activist, advocating for social justice out there and positive change. His work aims to uplift and empower those around him, creating a ripple effect of inspiration, but more importantly, a ripple effect of action. In tonight's episode, we'll discuss his journey from the streets of the neighborhood to becoming a respected voice in the fight for justice. We'll hear about the pivotal moments that shaped his path and the obstacles he overcame to stand where he is today. His story is truly a testament to the power of determination, human determination, and the importance of giving back to one's roots. Join us as we delve into the life of 4Nic, exploring his transition from neighborhood to manhood, as most of us have done, and the significant role he plays as what we coin here, an artivist. So whether you're a fan of his work or new to his story, today's conversation, because he's back, he sat with us before, promises to be both enlightening and motivating. So whip out your self-love vision. And you might even want to grab your 10 hats for later in the show. This is the Self Love Show, and this is The Revolution. The Revolution will not be on YouTube, however. These are lessons, not lectures. We're live and live in color on Tuesday, November 19, 2024 at 7:11 p.m. in the Chi. And as always, you individuals can be anywhere in this magnificent universe, but thankfully, we all chose to be here together. Here together. Bring that music back.
We go with the Self Love Show.
Yes, sir.
Bear down. What down, what down? What down, brother Wordsmith? What you manifested today?
Love, now. You know me. I'm manifesting love. What you manifesting?
Self Love Show.
Same, good brother. Pure, magnificent, unfiltered, unfettered. Some have called it tough, harsh, what have you. You know what I mean? Hazing, maybe. But I can assure you, it's self-love just the same, good brother.
No doubt, no doubt.
Hey, what's been going on in your neck of the Chi since the neck of America, your neck of the universe, this simulation, since we last flicked up, bro?
Well, they went ahead and voted for somebody to be in office, and we're gonna see what we get. Oh, wait a minute, that was the week before.
I have to say, what is this guy talking about here?
I was reading the notes, and something reminded me of that. You know, life is life, and bears are the bears.
Yeah, man, 1,000 ways to lose, and I mean,
they always pick one.
Bro, I mean, we do stuff and block a kick, they call it back, we lose the game, they call it penalty. They do it at the end of the game, more flagrant stuff, no call.
No call.
And then Eberpuss, who we need to Eber flush, he sits there. He just sits there and take that.
The worst thing about it, I was at a job, and during the last drive, I had to actually pay attention to what I was doing and didn't even see it.
Good for you.
I'm like, damn. I did right after see that we lost, and I didn't know what happened.
I knew it was gonna happen, bro. I should have filmed myself. I was sitting there.
I kind of knew it too, man. When he was driving down there, I was like, he's doing everything we need him to do. It's gonna be, yes. Oh, you need me? Okay.
Man, I was sitting there like, please make this kick. I just had a horrible feeling about the whole thing. There's over close to 40 seconds left. He's got the team standing around. The crowd went down, because we had all that time to process how important this was instead of just keep playing football, bro.
It was idiocy. We have to have the worst situational coach in history of the organization.
Bro, I wouldn't let him coach my Madden team.
He would have. He should have been.
You'd have taken the sticks from him after his first time. Like if you put together a team and we let other people play for us, we should do that. We should do that. Put together our team.
Wouldn't even let him come into the locker room.
That's what I said. He shouldn't even be allowed to give the post-game speech.
Man, get out of here.
All right. But what to expect today on the Self Love Show? As always, we always kick it off with our quote of the day. And then we have our more growth and development platform video. That's what we are building this nation on. And then we've got some tattoo tyranny. I do believe Karen has dug up some tattoo tyranny tapes. Big up, Karen. Your mind is a terrible thing to waste. It's a use it or lose it situation. So we're going to provide a riddle, also known as a dome teaser. We'll give you a chance to matriculate. If you have any ideas what it might be, put your guess in the chat. It might help someone else matriculate, and maybe you guys can heal this nation as a unit. Otherwise, we'll just wait for the Riddler, Brother Wordsmith, to solve it at the end of the show, because he normally does. All right. Tonight's topic, we got 4 Nic 7 4, still with it. Neighborhood to manhood. We've watched this young man grow up on this show. So we're going to give you some updates, and we're going to talk about, his music, his activism, things of that nature, what he's been doing since, what his next steps are. So please take the time, smash that like button, put some chatter in the chat. If you got any questions, concerns, that helps the algorithm, because no one's going to do it but us. Got to remember that. Also repost it. This young man is a testament of will, human determination. He's fighting. He fights for you. You understand? He's boots on the ground out there. So well, we're going to talk about it. But then we wrap it up with my favorite part of the show. And that's where this brother Wordsmith, he's going to summarize everything we unpacked today. He's going to whittle it into a piece of prose right off the top of his dome. Stick around for that. All right. Yeah. Any artists or activists, management people, producers, or anyone from the community out there in the chat, we want to hear from you. What do you do? Are you 12? Announcements. Big ups, Jesse White out there, huh?
Oh, yeah. Got a statue out there?
Yeah, memorialized out there.
Okay. He's a big 9-0, so yeah. He was in office for 25 years, 24 years? 24 years.
Yo to the new. Oh, and how do you feel about I didn't see you out there protesting. They scraped the late rest his soul King Von's mural down. Scraped it down.
Oh, did it? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't see you out there protesting.
No. No.
I questioned them doing that mural and allowing that to be up there and having the kids see it. But the kids didn't really know, you know what I mean? What was going on behind the scenes. As far as they knew, he was an artist. So I guess it works out. He was doing for the community, so allegedly.
Yeah, the only problem with that is everything after he passed away has been, about he was a serial killer. So.
Out there, allegedly.
Who scraped it away? Because
I don't know. But it's not there anymore.
Okay, because
maybe it was those guys from 63rd.
I don't like to drive past there, too much. But I do when I'm, it's called for. But
yeah, did you hear me? Maybe.
I don't want to start that. That's why I act like I didn't hear that.
Maybe it was those 63rd guys who scraped it off. Who knows? All right.
They got their own problems with the Venezuelans.
Yeah. So did you have any? Yeah, well, allegedly. Did you have any announcements, bro, that we missed?
Just
Happy,
know.
go ahead.
Just
Happy
know.
belated to my sister.
Oh, wow. You know what I forgot? Had my born date.
And your born day. You know what I mean? Because
Thursday.
you're in my sister's birthday is this right
Yeah.
there. Yeah. Yeah. So big ups to Wendy. Big ups, brother Wordsmith. Yeah, and that's a nice t-shirt, bro. Ancestral Echoes, huh?
Yes, sir.
You got your dates? Is everything solidified out there?
Well, the dates are solidified, but we still got a few
Things that hammer out before
Yep.
you.
Before we go ahead and launch it for everybody to see out there.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. It's going to be an exceptional event this year. It's going to top last year.
And you're going to run into all types of people. DJ Creeper said, Shy Rack. He said, bear down. For really. Ace 2X says, here we go. At the airport in Washington, D.C. and heading back to Shy. He's a traveler out there.
Yeah.
He's a national
Always, bro. That man.
Where are you at? I'm in Pawtucket, Kentucky. What's going on? Avenue. You know what I mean? All right. And then they didn't mention that at work.
Talking about got to be talking about the statue.
The King Von mural?
No, the statue.
Thought he was talking about the mural. You're right, because
he worked for him for a long time.
Yeah, how do they not mention it? How do they not mention
it?
Well,
you know how. It's the pink stink.
Yeah, well, if he was blonde-haired and blue-eyed out there, I bet they'd have gave everybody the day off with pay to go down there and,
shut the whole thing down. Let everybody come.
He said the 6'3" paint bucket, the 63rd paint bucket boys came out there. Graffiti abatement. You know what I mean? Graffiti abatement. It was probably FYJB Maine. He's allegedly pushing peace. Went over there to O Block, and the guys ran up on him. They said, "You're not pushing peace. You're pushing content." And at this point, I don't even know if I disagree. But big ups to anybody talking peace.
Yeah, I don't know who he is. So
enough of most people don't. He says enough of my. Enough of my back and forth. I'll turn it over to this guy to handle his business.
Yes, y'all. It don't stop. The Self Love Show rocks on. Today, you're in for a treat. We are bringing back special man, young man, formerly known as Nic Wit It, but he's now 4Nic74. Like he said, he's an artivist, and you're gonna be amazed at this young man's maturity and what he's on. As always, we have a very important video that I want you to check out. The Silverback Moral Growth and Development platform, which you're building a self-love nation off of. And before that, we have the Self Love Show quote of the day. You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them.
It sounds like he pledged beta.
You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. And that's from Maya Angelou.
We put her on a $20 bill. Maybe we run the next presidential election about putting her on a $20 bill. That'd be why I vote.
Silverback More Growth and Development platform. Number 1, repair our nation via reparations. We demand our silver back. Number 2, to connect our breadwinners with our activists. And 3, show an accurate depiction of African American Chi-Town. 4, shine a light on positive influence. 5, heal our community one person at a time. 6, to provide an unfiltered platform for our influencers. 7, recycle the black dollar. 8, to provide mentors for the mentorless. 9, to close the gap between us and our pink kinsmen.
And 10, protect our women, children, and men by any and all means necessary.
That part right there. All right.
Yes, sir.
If you missed last week's show, we were honored to sit with part 2. Chicago's very own MJ returned. Milana Jackson, the 888 film star. She's got a host of credits, but there's a big movie coming out on Netflix there. It's not Christmas. It's going to actually be December something. I got to get that date. She had texted me. I was supposed to put it in the comments, but damn. All right. So yeah, if you missed that, so
Man, you have to go back and check that out. Check it out. She dropped some gems. Oh man, it was some very important information.
It was a gem fest.
Man, it was
yeah
stuff I needed to hear personally.
Yeah, we all did.
And you will too. If you go check it out, you're going to see that. Man, you're going to know.
Yeah, so big ups. We always appreciate any energy someone can put towards the old shebang. And support the film. It's actually about a true story of 8 copper-colored women during World War II. All right, they had to do stuff that the other people couldn't get done. I don't want to spoil it for you, but I can't wait for it to drop.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too.
Kerry Washington, and directed by what's his name?
Not sure.
Tyler Perry.
Oh, sure was.
Yeah, produced, and then Kerry was executive producer. So yeah. All right. We got a warm-up poll question here. And it's in our community tab, you guys. Let your voices be heard out there. All right. What's the biggest issue facing? I should have put traditionally facing. I hope people got that. But that's what I meant. What's the biggest issue traditionally facing the Chicago Bears franchise? And so your options were the masochistic and blindly loyal fan base, meaning they're serving you shit. You keep showing up every day, ordering more shit. You know what I mean? You're lined up for it and you're paying more for it than the guy the people serving up better food very close to you. You guys should probably just start going to Green Bay and becoming Green Bay Packer fans, if nothing else, Lions fans. That makes more sense. Now, could be our fault. Maybe we like it and they like that we like it. Maybe they're sadistic, the Hallis family. We don't know what's in their hearts, McCaskey. And maybe we're masochistic. So there's option 1. Option 2, speaking of the McCaskies, Virginia McCaskey, former presidents and executives and GMs. So has it been an upper management concern? And we're saying the one that most applies. Also, the next one is poor player talent, i.e. subpar quarterback play, right? Just the players suck. You know what I mean? You come away from those games thinking, man, this team sucks. I came away from that a couple years ago thinking, yeah, you know what I mean? It's not against the players. They just, all right. And then coaching. Creeper is already in there. He said our QB sucks and they pay for a poop product. Bears don't care. So he said option number 1. He's blaming the fan base, so. Creeper's blaming the fans. He's
Yeah,
blaming the victims. He's victim blaming. Is he victim blaming?
yeah, because I mean, we do. It's acceptable, and but I still, that's not my choice.
Yeah, we'll hold our choice. But I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad
I'm
at
not
him.
at it either.
Dempsey Dent says bad management.
Yeah.
Big ups, Dempsey Dent. Hey, y'all, please like, share, subscribe, and forward it, repost. Let's get some people in here because, as this brother said, man, these are gems that get dropped. We're not on here talking about what the diddler did. We're not on here just gossiping about, nonsense all the time. You know what I'm saying? It's more growth and development. So you can go to the community tab. You can let your voice be heard. It's totally anonymous, and we appreciate y'all. All right, brother Wordsmith, did you see California citizens where I live votes for slavery?
Stay pretty unplugged.
Oh,
but you know what? I'm usually not. I don't know with your creative.
We went out there and voted for slavery. I mentioned something was on the ballot, and yeah, you'll see. Karen.
All right, turning now to Your Voice, Your Vote. A statewide ballot measure that would have banned forced labor prison failed to pass. 54% of voters opposed the measure, according to the California Secretary of State. The proposition would have amended the state's constitution to prohibit inmates from being forced to involuntary work in prisons and jails.
Blame that on
the initiative
Trump.
was included in a package of reparation proposals introduced by lawmakers as part of an effort to make amends for a history of racism and discrimination against Black Californians. People who are incarcerated are often paid less than $1 an hour to fight fires, clean cells, and do landscaping work at cemeteries. There are still other propositions and races that we are watching for you. You can find our updated results on our website, abc10.com.
You know how they do.
These guys get out of jail and go apply at those same jobs. They're going to tell them, you got a felony, we can't hire you. But go ahead. What are you going to say?
I'm saying they only show one group of individuals and some, copper colored. And it's just disingenuous to act like we're the only people in prison. Might be half, which is also ridiculous.
Yeah, in California, I don't know. But it's definitely a higher percentage of us in prison than versus the percentage of us in society. That's for sure. Yeah. So the same time they voted, so that was part of the reparation bill. The reparation bill, which was never even, they said we're not even going to vote on that because they could have put that out there. Yeah, so that's what they put out there, Self. They're giving you breadcrumbs and then spitting in your face. You're like Eberflus. Wait, you don't live in California. I do. I'm like Eberflus. I'm sitting there, I'm taking it. Maybe I'm a Bears fan.
Yeah, it's quite ridiculous most of the time, bro. They just poop on us and tell us it's snowing.
Thank you. Forced labor, not nothing to help the prisons. So maybe we can save the taxpayers' dollars. Maybe they're farming on the prison and all that food is being used to feed the inmates. Nothing like that. They're working for private companies out there.
Yes. The prisons are private. I told you they double dipping, triple dipping. We pay them to house them, and then they get paid for the labor that these prisoners do. I mean,
yeah,
and they pay the prisoners less than $1 an hour. Like, you know what I mean?
You can't knock the hustle, according to Jay-Z. You can't knock the hustle.
Fuck him and their hustle. That's BS. And yeah, that's some BS.
Yeah, if the hustle is taking mine, I can knock that. Can I not?
Man.
What I mean?
Yeah. I'm gonna knock it.
Yeah.
You lost your mind?
What am I supposed to do? And so it's apropos because this was one of the big things that was up for Nic 7-4's crawl. The whole 13th Amendment out there and getting that repealed. Remember that? And this is similar. So the feds could not repeal it, but you think a liberal state, a wacky liberal commie state like California, you think, this is what I be trying to tell y'all. These people think you are subhuman and slaves.
And stupid. very, very, very dumb.
Yeah. Yeah. Nothing about rehabilitating inmates. Nothing about that on the ballot. Nothing about spending more money to make it more humane. Oh, no.
I
We're
think
going
they
to make
stopped them from getting degrees and all of that, didn't they?
Yeah. Took the books out, everything. You're just going to sit here and get so bored that you're going to beg to work for $1 an hour. And then when you get out, we won't hire you, pay you a fair wage. That's why you're here in the first place. Nobody will hire you and pay you a fair wage. All right, let's move on because we got a guest. Tonight's topic for Nic 7. Is that that's not even tyranny, though. That's the people allegedly came out and voted. I mean, we didn't count the ballot.
Yeah, we didn't count the ballots. And somebody could have been like, yeah, we're going to question 79 or 1 or 2, whatever it is, whichever order they put it in. Yeah, we're going to make sure that that one doesn't pass.
That's crazy, man. All right, 4Nic74, still with it. Neighborhood to manhood, y'all. Please hit that like button and share the link. One more for you there, fella. All right. Good Cap. This one's called Good Cap. Fair use, ABC. Good Cap. And then we're going to start the show. Good Cap.
We are learning so much more tonight about the New York State trooper who claimed he was shot in the leg by a would-be killer on the Southern State Parkway on Long Island last week. Turns out he was not shot by a bad guy.
About him,
and when the district attorney discovered that they'd suspended the trooper and took away his gun, it also turns out his father was once a New York cop who lost his job. Here's Long Island reporter Shantae Lands.
Shot fired, I'm hit.
It's the radio call causing disturbing controversy.
I think my kneecap's broken. Vehicle was a dark black Charger, fled westbound.
27-year-old New York State trooper Thomas Masia told police he was shot in his leg on the Southern State Parkway last week by a distressed driver that he says he was trying to help.
We have reason to believe that the incident did not occur the way it was reported. The search for the Dodge Charger, labeled as a vehicle of interest at the beginning of this investigation, has been canceled.
State police say Trooper Masia was suspended without pay for violating the department's rules and regulations. A full salute for Trooper Masia as the 27-year-old was wheeled out of Nassau University Medical Center.
Now, without completing the investigation, they can come out and give him a 21-gun salute. But if Pookie had gotten shot, well, we've got to complete the whole investigation. But they ain't investigating nothing. They took this guy at his word. Look at this hero. He's a hero. All right, Karen, you can start it when you're ready.
His father, Thomas Masia Sr., an ousted NYPD cop, according to Newsday, for his involvement in selling drugs, kisses him on the head. Troopers supporting their colleague.
They're supposed to be turning their back on him.
I'm disappointed. I think that it overshadows the outstanding and great work that the members of the state police and the state troopers do each and every day in an attempt to keep the public safe. It gets worse.
On Friday, police executed a search warrant at his West Hempstead home that he shares with his parents.
The second time being injured. Yeah. You know, he was hurt before. He was hit by a car while he was also working.
Trooper Masia's next-door neighbor, Diane Sharon, says the accident happened in upstate New York. State police confirming the vehicle that allegedly struck him in 2022 was never found. Troopers took Masia's shield, service weapon, and personal guns as part of his suspension. They're now questioning if Masia could have shot himself.
We are aggressively pursuing leads and attempting to gather all of the facts.
His dad probably shot him.
Investigators say Trooper Masia's mental health is being
possible
considered.
for taking his drugs.
Criminal charges
should
be filed.
Insurance sham.
Shantae Lands, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Yeah, they get that workman's comp. The fact that he's a cop, all right, if you went in there and your dad was a gangster, they'd be like, yeah, nah, but you know what I mean? If your dad was a gangster. His dad was a oath-breaking, drug-dealing scumbag. Yeah. He got allowed to show up at the big media event and kiss another scumbag, allegedly, on the head.
I don't know how allegedly that is. I think they're both scumbags. And wow. Do better. State police, do better.
What a moron if this is true.
Well, I mean, one thing about being a law enforcement, it's not required to be very intelligent. That's not a requirement.
You're better off pretending that you're an 85er, right? And yeah, if you want to get the job, you better not go in there trying to sound too smart, like you're going to question everything. They're not going to hire you.
Not at all.
No matter what race, so-called race you're from. All right, was that?
Absolutely.
It's definitely pink crime, but is that tyranny?
I thought tyranny was is this the tyranny?
Yeah, no, this isn't the tyranny segment, but
that's tyranny, yes.
Well, they didn't cover it up though. I've been meaning to look up
the whole thing is they came out there and celebrated him.
Tyranny, cruel and oppressive government or rule. A nation, so cruel, unreasonable, or arbitrary use of power or control. You know what I mean? I don't think it qualifies. Now, had they covered it up, had they not used,
but they celebrated it. That's the whole problem I have with it. They celebrated it. They had the guy out there, 21 gun salute, had everybody stand out there.
Yeah.
And it's the second time it's some questionable action. There should have been some more investigation.
It was a cop sitting out there like he was standing with his head on.
Yeah.
He probably knows this guy's a scumbag, you know.
That's what I'm saying. This is the second time with some nonsense.
Everybody's investigating on his behalf. They could have been investigating other crimes. They could have gotten some poor Ray, Pookie, or Dakota pulled over and shot. You know what I mean? Driving the same car. I mean, come on, how many people got pulled over that night and harassed by law enforcement?
You know how the story goes.
You know how it goes.
That's why we have the Self Love Show.
Nic 74 still with it. Neighborhood to Manhood. We're gonna get our dome teaser, and then we're gonna start get Nick. Maybe I should call somebody and make sure this is still going on.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because it's well beyond time. Yeah. All right, dome teaser. I am taken from a mine and shut up in a wooden case, from which I am never released. And yet I am used by almost every person. Whatever. I'm going to put it in the chat here. Okay. I am taken from a mine and shut up in a wooden case, from which I am never released. And yet I am used by almost every person. What am I? No immediate thumbs up there, fella?
Nope. I'm not feeling nothing. Ain't not telling me nothing right now.
Nothing.
No.
Chat? Nobody's got any guests in the chat?
Huh.
You go ahead and you know, as you're going through it, give them the science of self here. I'm talking to Karen.
The science of self, meaning that we are all part of the same being. We are all connected. We are all fake separateness. And as our bodies are made up of trillions of cells or whatever, what have you, we are all cells of the Creator. We've come here to experience, to greater expanse our knowledge. I mean, you can know everything in the world, but without any personal experience, it's not as good as knowledge. It's just information. So, why we do this show is to expand our consciousness. Each of us came here, in my personal opinion, to expand our soul with experience. All souls don't come to this place because it's a rough school. You know, and decide things that when you know everything seems easy. But when you lose all your information when you get here, that's why I said you fake separateness and fake not knowing everything to experience. And it's great school. As far as I'm concerned, one of the hardest in the so-called universe. So take it easy on yourself, focus in, and learn to be the best you that you can be. Figure out why you came here and achieve what you planned before you came. We got a great show for you coming, and with this young man on, it's going to be a great experience. If you didn't know the reasons behind the origin of the show, the Self Luv Show, after watching George Floyd get kneed out and the response, we have always had great discussions amongst ourselves, and we thought it would be better for everyone to get a chance to hear some portions of our conversations. And we decided that this would be the best way to do it. Also, we wanted to leave something for our progeny. We want to be able to speak to those in the future. Just like we watch information from the 60s and such, we are doing that for our future. It's great information. It's going to help down the road. I'm just happy that my children's children's children should be able to, pull me up and listen to some of my opinions and some of the facts that I present. As 9, as every guest, as every chat, let's expand the Self-Love Nation. So I need you to send this out to as many people that have like minds that you know of, and help this whole situation grow. As it's grown mightily since the time we first started. This has been a blessing for me. I learned something every single show. Helps me grow, especially when we have guests. It's amazing and awesome to hear like-minded people with different opinions. Awesome. That's what I can say. I do say so myself. I'm not sure what's going on here. Ms. 9 will come back and let us know what's happening. But I would like to take a moment to thank you for watching and those who support us.
In the morning, 97.1 FM.
Here we go.
WQHG 97.1.
97.1. One of our sponsors, Weenie and the Butt.
Weenie and the Butt. Monkey 97.1.
Cool weekends in the morning. All weekend long.
Weenie and the Butt.
In the morning. On the radio.
FM. Dickie the Punchline Donkey on Cool 97.1.
Cool weekend.
On the radio.
In the morning. FM. WQHG.
Cool weekends.
In the morning. On 97.1.
97.1.
Weenie in the Butt.
97.1.
In the afternoon.
In the afternoon.
Oh my God.
WQHG. Turn it on and rip the knob off.
You're listening to the radio.
Weenie in the Butt.
Ladies and gentlemen, Weenie in the Butt. You're on mute if you said anything out the app. You're on mute if you're saying stuff out the app.
Big ups to the sponsors, and also big ups to Midwest Festivals.
Midwest Festivals, yes, sir.
All right, y'all. Looks like we're having a bit of an issue here. So, hold on. Let me double check. We're listening to the radio. Yeah, looks like we're probably gonna have to reschedule this one.
Ready?
Hold on. Trying to get Nick on the phone. Karen, go ahead and run that promo video, and then I'm gonna reach out to Nick.
Parent, it's putting them in a mindset to where I've already been through this. I know when I'm like, it's putting them in a mindset to where like I know where like they're making them think that they're gonna go to prison at one point in life. So it's making them think I know I'm gonna go there at one point, so I might as well do something that could help me out right now. Like somebody who's going to rob someone so that it could help them pay their rent or something. They might do that thinking, you know, I'm gonna already go to prison sometime in my life, might as well help my family out right now.
What advice or information, looking back, would you give to your 9-year-old self, little Nick?
To not be hard. I got in a lot of. I was grounded from the point where I was 9 to almost my birthday when I was 10.
Yes, y'all. Don't stop. Self Love Show.
Rocks on. Let's see. Chat. There's definitely something going on with the chat. Something.
Okay. What is going on? Air Quote says, let's go. And if you don't know, check out Air Quotes. He's got a great channel.
Yeah, big ups to Air Quotes. Yeah, Air quotes be going hard too in the commentary and comments.
Very solid.
Yeah.
Very solid.
Yeah. Air quotes.
Contributor. Yeah.
Free thinker. But I don't know if he's a he or a not. You know what I mean? Yeah. Could be a they, them.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I mean, we don't. Nobody knows who air quotes is. I'll tell you this much though. Looks like we're gonna have to pivot. I don't know. I don't have anything to talk about. There's the Bears. There's can't think of any.
Trump. Yeah. Things he said he's gonna do on day one.
I don't think nobody cares. He's lying. He lies about everything, bro. I mean,
they all do.
Correct. I mean, man. Well, we could. We could break that down, but
doesn't have to be that. I mean, it can be whatever.
Yeah, but I'll tell you one thing, bro. There's something weird going on. Funny you mentioned the Don. Like, you got women who live in states where they could still control their reproductive rights. Terrified. If the red team gets control of all of their offices, and I think this is all of the branches of government, and I think this is where the Democrats messed up. Because we had control of everything. Because the excuse was, Obama didn't control nothing his first term. And the second term.
The first 2 years, he did. That was a lie that they told him.
Yeah, the second term, the first 2 years, he controlled everything. But then he tried to say he was a lame duck president. So he wouldn't want to step on the next president's toes. And smugly, I think, assuming that everybody was going to vote for them again. But anyway, I say that to say, if the red team does shit, then shame on the blue team, because that's what we were saying when nothing was happening. When the blue team controlled everything, we were saying, why aren't they doing nothing? They could have rammed reparations down everybody through.
Yeah, they want to go along to get along, gang. They just yell, what they're doing, and take no responsibility at all.
Yuri in the building.
Yes, sir.
What's up, nephew? What up, little king?
My son.
I hope you're working on your game, man. You should have, keep working on the game, bro.
You got a game today.
If you don't have any defensive integrity, I won't watch you play.
Oh, he does.
Yeah. Well, all right. Talking to the kid here. You're just like a
yeah.
You know what I mean? But he can't say anything. So
yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah.
I'm just assuring you.
Oh yeah. Well, his dad does. Again, we didn't play with people who didn't play defense, did we, Sal?
Oh no.
No, we didn't even play with them.
One and done. Be like, oh no, you we need to switch you out or something.
Yeah.
Or y'all, I'm straight. Y'all go play because we'll be on. I'll play. I get next.
People literally thought you rest on defense.
Nah. Not at all.
If you got to rest on offense, run around there, set some screens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Roll. If you're super tired, you don't have to. You might have a lane down there, but if you're tired, you don't have to sweat.
Go there.
But I would.
You also were a great shooter, so if you were tired, you could just stand outside and keep somebody all the way out the way.
Correct. And everybody can do that. It's called off the ball, whether you can shoot or not. Most people don't know their personnel.
That's true.
Yeah, they're just running out. Somebody's behind the 3-point line. It could be Shaq. They're running out there, and they'll leave Michael Jordan wide open under the basket. Once you start thinking the game, young man, it'll come. First, work on your fundamentals. Do what everybody's teaching. Then the game's going to slow down, and you're going to start figuring out some of these upper-level things we're discussing right now. I remember your dad told me, why did you pass it to him? Like, he doesn't need the ball. He never needs the ball. All right.
He doesn't want it. I used to say he doesn't want that.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve it.
He thinks he wants it.
He thinks he deserves it.
He's going to throw up some crap. He's going to hog the ball and dribble 45, 50 seconds and then throw up some crap.
Yeah, they're not putting in the work you're putting in. Man, I'll try. I wanted to play this, man, but let me see. Tell me if you can hear this. Hold up. And we have to. Can you hear this?
Yeah.
Well, we've been burdened, and we have to uncover the burdens of the burdens of history. I'm from a middle class family. I remember. Let me tell you a story. Brother Mills, we're asking you about the exchequer. No. Let me tell you a story. I remember my granddad, who was a noob. He used to pick me up. I remember he used to pick me up from school and put me on this knee, and I thought to myself, he's raising me like a Kappa man and a black boy. No, I'm going to get to your question, but this is important. The American people need the chapter needs to hear this. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do anything for beta noobs. No, but my grandfather, I remember he used to be making the chitlins in the toilet, and he was showing me how to clean those chitlins. Ever since, I'm just saying, I'm from a middle class family, and that's why, you shouldn't care about the exchequer. Brother Mills, what about all the GDIs that you let in through the back door when all the brothers were gone and stole all the shit? Listen, I remember when I was at Howard University, and I got on that campus, and I said, wow, these people look like me. No, I'm going to get to your question. That's rude of you brothers to, cut me off like this. Weren't you vice poll mark last year when the chapter went to shit? Is there anything you would change, do differently from the previous poll mark? I can't think of anything. And if you don't vote for me, it's because you don't like noobs. This message was approved by Kamala Harris for president. Yeah, that's my summation. That's exactly what I heard.
Yep. You left out the busing. She likes to go into the busing line. I mean, legend story.
Yeah. Yeah, then start talking about the opponent. It's not going to work anymore, Democrats. We're going to take a short break here and try to figure out the pivot. But I question if they're still getting 90% of the black women vote and 80% of the black male vote. I'm really questioning it, bro, because I'm not finding these people when I talk to them in real time. Honestly.
Well, they lie. Also, I guess you are talking to voters. And a lot of us do not participate And, I understand why, but we got to figure something out. Can't keep going under the system if we're not going to participate.
I think they're banking on the 85ers, the 85%. They know they can win elections. They've done the analytics, the 5%, the gods, they can't, And
Well,
then
they do these polls, and polls are, slanted, very
can you
slanted.
say Poles? You talking about Polish people? I got some Polish friends,
Well,
bro.
no, I don't.
Very
I
nice
don't.
people.
No, I don't call
Hard
them
working out
that.
there.
I'm talking about these polls. You got a poll on here. That's not a person. It's a.
They helped build the Chicago, bro. They
It's
was
a
right
person.
there next to the Swarthy.
No, they weren't. They weren't here yet.
They were there early. I'm not gonna take nothing away. The Polish people put in work in that city, boy. Boy, you better do your history.
But I know my history.
You better do your city history.
I know my city history. And
okay, all right.
They weren't here when the copper guy so-called founded it.
And they came to Chicago with no deodorant and went straight to work.
In the 1900s, 1800s, that's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. When was this joint founded?
Yeah, that's why there's so many. That's why it's more Polish there now than in Warsaw, bro. This is why. What do you think? They came there and gave them corporate jobs?
No.
They brought them from those shithole countries and brought them to the America to work.
They weren't even considered. Yeah, you're right. They weren't considered white.
Yes, I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying, yeah, they put work in, man. Yeah. I'm not saying more than us, but yeah, bro, they was building them highways, bro, building those skyscrapers, bro, the trains. They was right there. Part of the city, a lot of the people were living in those little like shanty homes, and the Polish people, bro. Now they think you're subhuman, many of them.
No doubt.
Yeah. But yeah, you might want to take us to halftime. So I'm supposed to do that, my fault. So then we can research. Karen?
Smith 9 Mil, Self Love Show. The Self Love Show. You know how the story go. It's the Self Love Show.
Yes, y'all. It don't stop. Self Love Show rocks on. We're gonna have to pivot. Happens sometime. We got a live show. But emergencies happen, and but we're gonna take a little bit to figure it out. And as always, we have some very edutaining videos for you to check out. And before you know it, we're gonna be right back at you.
If we were educated, we would know that Kamala Harris is part of the Boule. We would know that those organizations have been in existence for hundreds of years. And if they are planning 500 years in advance, how can you compete if you don't educate yourself? Barack Obama, Trump, and Biden. None of them did anything for any of us. And Kamala Harris is going to follow that same trend. She might smile in your face. She might have caramel skin. She might pour hot sauce on her food.
You have no idea. This is how my mother kept all of her stuff.
At the end of the day, she's not going to do anything for us. And when we realize that none of them are going to do anything for us, and we got to start our own, we'll be better off. The first government is a husband and wife and a family, and then the extended family. And if that husband and that wife is not financially planning for the future, they're going to suffer.
White folk are rich and powerful.
Test. There's something going wrong here.
Okay. Check. I don't know what's going on with that. But
why did you decide to use hip hop or music as a vehicle?
I could say my uncle Parrish, he had to turn, that's his age group, the turntables.
White folk are rich and powerful because black folk worked for 310 years and got not one day's pay. We need repair from 310 years of chattel slavery, where black men were forced to be studs, to make black women pregnant, to make more slaves. And that same unhealthy attitude of misusing our women is still with us. Willie Lynch, who gave the ways that we could keep being divided so that they could rule us for 1,000 years. That sickness is still with us. A few of us have wealth while the masses of our people are going steadily down. No one man can rise above the condition of his people.
Why did you decide to use hip hop or music as a vehicle?
I could say my uncle Parrish, he had to turn, that's his age group, the turntables, the B-boys, you feel me, he a little older than me. So they was doing that in the rooms, man. And I was like, yo, I was intrigued by that, man, watching Rap City every Saturday over my grandma's house. My other uncle, Robert Morrison, he got a Grammy, bro. He's a producer, bro. He's like a house producer, bro, R&B. So he did a lot of stuff with like Maurice Joshua, all them house cats, man. He got a Grammy for that. So that was a part of me, man. Music in my family, bro. Like my great grandma was a poet, you know. So it came from that, you know. And my uncles, my pops, they had like a look. They was like the Jackson 5 type shit. Y'all can hear that in the background?
Yeah. I heard after the shots, 12 rolling. Late too.
I heard the last of the shots when you said, man, they shooting.
Yeah, you heard that? Yeah.
Man down.
The social programming, man, is off the chain, and we witnessed it. You know, we got to see it firsthand. You know, I often say that hip hop went from having fun to scholars to selling drugs to thugs to doing drugs
and to literally drive by mass killing women and children in the neighborhood. Like, that's okay. Killing the elders, shooting up the block, that's all good stuff. To drug raping, all of that stuff became the cool thing to do. And then there was the mass materialism, and that kind of started during our era.
Yeah.
You talk about all these brands. I didn't know nothing. We didn't know nothing about half these brands that you could copy, Macy's and Nordstrom and all of that stuff. If some rapper hadn't told us about it. You know what I mean? So then the next step, if you ain't got a job or you don't have the means to get it, then what you gonna do to get those goods that we couldn't afford? You gonna sell drugs. You gonna do what you gotta do to get that stuff.
Man, thank you guys for inviting me on. Thank you. Great format, very solid. You know, it don't have that low budget movie feel. You know what I'm saying? And we get that a lot in the black community, for real. Like, people look at us to be fuck ups. They look at us to be low budget. They look at us to be ignorant, stuttering, and use a whole bunch of and all of that. But no, they got the real deal on here. That everybody know who Torian Mills is, baby. They know.
Hey, well, bro,
They're so ignorant,
ignorant.
So
Hey, but this platform's
Your
your platform. This platform's my
my
platform.
platform.
From Inglewood, California to
To
Chicago,
South Shore.
Illinois.
Crazy thing about it.
This platform is
Is
made for
made
you
for you
and
and me.
it's
No.
made for
The
you and
Do
crazy.
ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. I was trying to get out the end of the preamble, but go ahead, bro.
Yes, y'all. Don't stop. Self Love Show rocks on.
Self Love Show.
So we initially had something planned. It didn't happen like it was supposed to. So quick judgment means you have to pivot. And that's what we're doing.
We do it for our people. Self Love Show. It's the Self Love Show. It's the Self
The Self Love Show.
Yeah, it's bound to happen. A live show, you know?
Yeah.
Bound to happen. What are the risks of a live show? Yeah, bro. Yeah, man, but the topic though, neighborhood to manhood, is pretty appropriate. You know?
Yeah, definitely. Because we used to have communities, and that's not the case anymore. And we used to have neighborhoods after that when it wasn't, but now it's just hoods.
And why is that? What happened to those? What happened to those communities?
Well, the community once
people just went crazy.
No, well, there were some planned out ways that this occurred when the welfare took over the system and made the man leave the home. There was a lack of community. With no men there, there was just neighbors and neighborhood.
Yeah. Even before that, like, it's not like a majority of us are on welfare. There was a destruction of the church, the community-based church or the neighborhood church. This isn't a dissertation on religion or one's feelings about the enslavement of religion. This is more on men and families congregating together and talking about things that were important to them within their community and being able to say, hey, your son is shooting at people in the street. You understand? That was destroyed. It was replaced by mass corporate Walmart type of situation. They got all the little business churches out of the business who probably cared. At least you can get your hands on them. Now they fly in a pastor from Yah knows where, and then they have this super mega church situation going on. And you go to church, no one knows each other, That's a part of it.
Yeah.
It's a part of it.
Yeah.
It's a part of it.
Just like all of us wasn't on welfare, all of us wasn't in the church either. But it's all part of it. That's
It's part
for
of
sure.
it. Because we were at least in church until we were 13, 14 years old. Now the street is getting their hands on these kids. They're coming off the porch at 10. So if you were coming off the porch at 14, 15, with I don't know. It just seems like we don't know each other anymore. The sports got broken down. Used to have Little League Baseball. Used to have, you can go to the park, compete against each other. There were block club parties. The businesses in the neighborhood
they got rid of the community stuff. I mean, like there used to be a whole lot of programs for children.
Yeah.
And they got rid of all of it. Like,
yeah.
it was a problem.
They stripped it out of schools, bro.
And they stripped a lot of out of the used to be able to go right out of high school right into a union because you were an apprentice while you were in high school learning the trade. That hurt a whole lot too.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be a time we at least owned those liquor stores, you know, the corner stores. There was a time.
Beauty shops, beauty salons.
Yeah.
It wasn't really nail shops then, but
it was the reason
all the stuff in our community.
It was the reason bandits wore masks, even before a time when there was like cameras. You know, it was because
somebody knew you.
Yes, everybody knew each other. Like, you know, it was a good chance. Yes,
somebody was gonna know you, especially if you were, robbing some place that was, near or close or next neighborhood over.
You want to go education, destruction of that, or you want to go? I'm talking about what they were programming, or you want to go to the dropping of poison in our communities, in guns. Which one you want to go to next?
It's all of the above, and also the changing of our street organizations from protective to
destructive.
Yes.
Well, I think that's why in The Godfather, that guy didn't want to have anything to do with those types of, certain types of drugs. He didn't want to get involved. He didn't want them getting involved in it.
Yeah. Although they still did.
Well, they decided to sell it in our neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Yeah. Polish immigrants built numerous cathedrals, schools, and other institutions that help anchor the Chicago community, serving as a vibrant social and cultural center. How Chicago became a distinctly Polish American city. Chicago's Polonio played a crucial role in political, religious, educational. Okay. Encyclopedia Chicago seems like a reputable source.
Somewhat, but I'm sure there's somebody Polish on there.
It says they settled around the Civil War, just like all the other ones that came right after all the fighting. Once everything got all good, everybody came over here and took our benefits and stuff. Still happening. Well, we've got to unburden what's been burdened in the past, but we're not going to give you any reparations. Reached out. Okay. Shaped by at least 3 distinct.
Yeah, I'm not, saying that they are not an important sector. They're just not foundational.
Oh yeah, I agree.
That's what I was meant by the whole thing. It was like, yeah, they, and Chicago is a very segregated city. So when different people came to different neighborhoods, those neighborhoods expanded and they did a lot of work in those neighborhoods.
Oh yeah.
And built up that part or built on to what was already there.
Let's see. Bunch of small business owners, Milwaukee Avenue, Division Street, Archer Ave, Ashland, Commercial, and West 47th Street provided some of the sites for this growing group of entrepreneurs. Many served a narrow ethnic clientele, but others reached beyond the ethnic community. In addition, a thriving Polish and East European Jewish business community developed. The businesses included Goldblatt, Polk Brothers, and Meyer Brothers. They participated in. Yeah, they had partnerships with the Jewish.
Oh, okay. That now that's making sense.
Well, some Polish are Jewish. It's a religion.
Yeah,
we got Polish Jews.
You do.
Polish Chicagoans also participated in the labor movement, beginning with the 1904 strike. they took an active part in unionizing the stockyard. So, you know what I mean? They're right there.
Well, like I said, they have their place, which is good, but not foundational to the whole situation. That was my only point.
And then they moved out to the subway, upper mobility. Yeah, they didn't do as much as I thought they did. Well, what I was saying, I got from a Polish person. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So they might know though. Maybe they're just not getting credit. I don't know. You know, I talk to people. You know, a lot of this stuff is distorted.
Definitely, but they're not foundational though. But you know, most people when they come here, they want to present themselves as the best.
So what else, bro? Like what else though? What do you think? Drugs? They dropped the guns and the drugs in the neighborhood. Knock the heads off those organizations you were just talking about.
Man, that's kind of why they turned. I think, in my personal opinion.
I agree.
I think that's why they turned, because they systematically, one by one, took all the leaders, and then they was, you know, group by group taking that whole leadership with the RICO. Once they started putting the RICOs involved, it was
But
like,
again,
whoa.
everybody wasn't in gangs.
No.
Just like everybody wasn't in churches.
Yeah.
Just like everybody wasn't
it's all part of it though.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like you said, yeah.
Yeah, it's a domino effect leading to total destruction.
And the major segregation in the city also contributed to that.
You mean the redlining?
Yeah,
redlining. The red line.
The redlining and complete separation. Because like Bridgeport, Canaryville, those were dangerous areas for the copper colored. Dangerous. You go in those areas, they didn't want you there.
Well,
and those were two distinctively different groups of people too.
But they couldn't come in the brown belt either.
If they came in like businessmen or whatever, they could
during the daytime. Yeah,
but we couldn't really go into the areas as businessmen. We weren't allowed there
after dark.
Sometimes it was during the day.
Dark. Now, if you were a teen, you're never allowed over there, and no, just like their teens weren't allowed in the copper color communities. It's what it was.
Well, we had our
why would you even want to be over
there?
That? Why would you even want to be over there?
Yeah, that's true. Both ways as that goes, but you know, the people that was presenting that we're supposed to mix and all of that. So
I'm just saying
that was part of the problem too.
Why am I going over there and they throwing bottles and rocks at me? Like, what am I going over there for? Like, I don't understand.
This peaceful demonstration situation was a problem for us too. That brought down because there was a group of us that didn't feel that way.
Oh yeah, we own stuff. You're talking about when they burned down the West Side?
Yeah,
burned all our own businesses down allegedly.
Yeah, more and more I think about that. Then no, we didn't do that. That was nonsense.
You know what I'm saying? It was the same way. They just had more cameras this time during the whole Black Lives Matter thing, and they was trying to put all that off on us. And then you were able.
They caught the people that was doing a lot of that.
Yeah. You know, let's go destroy their neighborhood, set them back. Then they'd have to come over here during the day and do business with us. And then if they come around here at night, the cops are going to arrest them. That would have been right around the time you're talking about too. When civil rights came. Civil rights hurt.
Burn down our neighborhoods. I mean, burn down our businesses.
Yep.
And not give us insurance for it.
And then let us sit at the same soda fountain with them right after.
Shortly after. And it was a racist that had to do that. He was like, these Indians are going crazy. We gotta give them something. Lyndon Johnson, quote, these Indians are going crazy.
Why did we beg? to spend our money with them. I know I'm being Captain Hindsight, but I'm looking back
because those people were compromised and they sold us out. That's really all I can say.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall with some of the other business people were saying during that day. It had to be somebody like me, like, why? Why don't we just produce our own stuff, and whatever we don't got, then maybe we'll have to go there. But
I mean, we produced everything. We created everything. We had everything.
Yeah.
It was asinine.
I bet we were able to get more
asinine.
I bet we were able to get more bank loans at that time too to start a business. So I don't know.
We had our own banks. We had our own institutions. We weren't allowed in their institutions at all. We had everything. We had everything.
You sound like we're going to unburden the burdens that were. The burdens, I'm going to go back to community banking. I'm going to talk to the community bank. These community banks have been compromised at this point. But you're talking about before that.
Yeah, I'm saying when we weren't allowed to be involved in their situation.
Right.
We had our own situation. Right. Period.
We had our numbers. We was running the numbers. We had our own lottery.
That's where the lottery came from.
Yeah.
That's where the lottery came from when they saw all that. And it came out of Shy.
It came out of Shy. Policy.
Policy, brothers.
One of my grandfathers was big on the one on the liquor store over there on South Chicago. All plugged. Yeah, he was big with them numbers, boy. Policy. I imagine if they would have kept it going, I would have been probably, running the numbers up and down the street, making a little bread for myself. Probably would have had a nice little whip like TC by the time I'd have got down there on the yards. You know what I'm saying? Nice little whip.
Might not even felt to go to the yard.
Man, I've been probably running the numbers like TC when I got to the yard.
Might not have went to the yards, what I'm saying, because I mean, we had our own situations.
Yeah, solution though, and I guess you'd have to reverse everything. You'd have to unburden the burdens that's been burdened. You'd have to unburden the burden that's going to be burdened, and it's not going to come from the government. Right. So now you'd have to have businesses that hire your people.
Really, what we need is to come together and get this critical mass that will push forth and push forth and make us all come together and take the lead.
And put that in. How does that happen?
Well, we're part of it. It's growing every day. And it's not just us. There's a lot of us waking up.
But what's the critical mass going to do?
Once we know that we're indigenous to this land, then something's going to change. But they got some reparations if they want to choose that route, or we can go the completely legal route they want to go. We own this country. There's a lot of land patents that are listed that can't be stolen according to them and their law, and people are getting their land back going through their legal system and winning. And at some point they're gonna have to pay up or leave.
Yeah. Okay, so if they undid the community churches and they undid the community banks and they undid our business structure and they prostituted our education and they dumped drugs and guns in our community,
destroyed the medical system.
So we should be working to reverse that. And what would be the first thing that you think is the most important? I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna say the church. That critical mass you're talking about was done through the church. Like you're not gonna get on the internet and create a critical mass, bro. You got a problem with God,
you can. These churches the church. It's not gonna come through the church.
We're not talking about those churches. We're not talking about those churches.
Yeah, man, but that I wouldn't even call what we need a church, because I think it does not need to be religious based. It needs to be based in what we need as common needs to each other. And I don't think church, because of the fundamentals of the church, that they are the only thing that's moving or whatever, and their God
So,
is the
so
God.
you don't think the fear of God, instilling the fear of God into the people matters?
No. I think most people don't fear God.
Well, me personally, when I was coming up, I feared God. I feared that if I shot somebody, I was
when you
going
were
to hell.
indoctrinated into it, yes, you did. I understand that. And when I was indoctrinated into it, I did too.
But guess what was the result of that? I didn't go out there with guns and shooting people and doing crimes.
Yeah, but you're not an example of a average person. You're not, and I'm not either. We're not examples of average people. Our critical thinking and the way we lived our lives, according to morals that I think come from above the church, as we're people and we learn how to treat people.
You're talking about something different. I'm not talking about the church. I'm talking about human spirituality, our connection with the Creator. You got a problem with that?
No, you brought up the church. You brought up the church. I didn't. I said I don't think the church is the answer. And you said church. That's your what
right.
I didn't.
You got a problem with that? That's what I'm asking. Right.
No, spirituality with the people. No.
You're referencing
religion.
The church.
That's what I'm referencing.
Religion. Yeah. We have to unburden that has been burdened, bro.
Yeah, religion has been a separating force, is all I'm saying.
It's also been a unifying force.
For the people that's in the religion, yes. But it's not been a unifying force for all of us together. There are different religions. Within the religion, yes. Outside of the religion, no. And we need everybody to come together.
A new world order.
That's the critical. No, not no new world order.
For black people, for copper people.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know about new world order. We need to get ourselves in order. And the world will follow suit.
Okay. And that's what we're discussing. All right. So it's not gonna be the church.
I don't think so.
All right. So what do we do? I mean, you saying come together and how are we going to get everybody together, bro? Like, if we don't meet in places.
Well, we're in the information age, and things are we're coming together in a lot of ways. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and information is bringing us together.
But you have to do something with the information.
Yeah, that's
everybody
true.
can't just sit around on the internet.
No, not at all.
So what do we tell them to do? I'm not aiming this directly at you.
I know. Spend money with each other only as much as possible. Tenets that we've been saying. Like,
okay, so for that to happen, we need to have businesses. We can focus on building small business in the communities.
I think we need to come. The businesses need to come together to become bigger, and be able to service more people instead of us all of us acting as individuals.
Yeah, like a co-op.
Yeah, co-op is and based on common needs and not based on our religious beliefs. I don't think religion is necessarily bad. I just think that some of its tenets don't allow for you to work with somebody else, and people think down on people because of their religion.
I don't think down.
I know you don't. You're not an average person, bro.
You're saying
there's Christians that don't mess with Muslims and Muslims that don't mess with Christians. And there are Jewish people from our community that don't mess with either of those. You know what I'm saying? They just don't because of their concept of God.
Is it?
Well, this is the concept of the religion, not God. Pardon me.
It could be the concept of the unification of the people.
That's what we need,
Right.
above all of that.
That could be what they're doing. And the place they talk about it is in their synagogue and in their mosque and in their temples and in their churches. That's where they all come together. That's where the businesses talk. That's where the business owners talk, and they have conversations like this. Otherwise, it's a consistent place where people go every week. Otherwise, you're gonna get what we got. It hasn't. Is that? Listen.
I think
I was
it is
behind the
why we
curtain
got
in the
what we
church.
got.
I was behind the curtain in the church. I don't think the church is what you think it is, because you may have said you weren't in it. All of us didn't come up in it. It's not what the internet has said the church is. It is today.
I was a Christian. I came up in the church, not
Catholic?
in that church. No, not Catholic, and not Baptist.
Was it a community church? Like in your community?
It was. No, by the time I didn't go to church in my community. No.
Yeah.
Went to my grandmother's church.
The church would be like Brother Wordsmith is the pastor. That would be the church. And that's how the church was. And then the deacons, bro, they took care of business. Some of them were pimps, some of them were drug dealers, some of them were gangsters. So, most of them were business people. Most of them, and they all would talk to each other and knew each other, and that's how it was a community.
That's what I said. It was community within your church or your religion, but not all together.
I'm trying to tell you, the people didn't necessarily care about. I guess a Muslim wouldn't have been in my church, but I can guarantee you, the Muslim pastors were talking to the imam was talking to the reverends, and they were able to have discussions. And hey, I know your people hate our people, which isn't true. That's not the case. But I know your people think a certain way and pray to a certain God. But here's what's going on in the community. We all look like each other. You know what I mean? And we can't let our beliefs, our foundational beliefs, separate us.
I agree.
You know, so maybe there'll be multiple churches.
How about we
stay away from it?
Gather upon what we agree upon or whatever, and leave what we don't agree upon out of the whole equation.
Well, we said
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Make a co-op.
That's one way. Yeah. A lot of co-ops, a lot of helping each other expand, because a lot of the reasons why we have to have higher prices is because other communities buy in bulk together so they can sell it for cheaper.
Yeah, we got to get people working, but then that's slavery. But they got to do something, right? Trades.
Yeah, I mean, entrepreneurship is very much needed, but we have to have some people working in those businesses too.
That's what we used to have shoe shine boys.
We had everything. That's the whole thing. Before we forced our way into whatever.
Before we beg and plead to eat at,
we had everything. Before we got sold out.
Yeah.
Told that, man, we really should go over there and eat with them white folks, dude. We should be able to sit down at the counter.
And made it a status. It's better if you go to Roots.
Sit at the counter with them these white folk, cause they some good old white folk. They good white folk. They not bad white folk. They good.
It was a status to go out the neighborhood and pay a third of your check and take your family to dinner, and it's still ingrained in us.
Yeah, stupidity.
It is still ingrained in us, bro.
Yeah, by imbeciles and idiots of our own kind. that sold us out.
It's going to be tough to deprogram that, but you say we're waking up.
Yes, it's the information age. And the information that they want to keep hidden is being exposed. And there's going to be a critical mass of us.
How do we get the drugs off the street? You can't.
I don't necessarily think that they have to be. Like,
you can't have kids doing fentanyl and dying.
Well, you just got to have people have responsibility and accountability. There's always going to be negative things. If it wasn't drugs, it's going to be something else.
I think our neighborhoods used to be more secure so that somebody couldn't just start serving poison in the neighborhood.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not going to deny that. Like I said, when they moved the men out of a lot of households, not all of them, but a lot of them, where drug dealing could occur. You know what I mean? There's a lot of areas where the man never left, and I don't care if they had drugs or whatever, they couldn't come over there and serve.
Right. It's funny you said that, though, because I did tell someone that the most, and I don't know, I'll ask the chat, underutilized resource on earth is the black man and black woman. And I don't know which one.
So-called, but
Yeah. It's the most underutilized resource.
At least for peace.
Everything.
Yeah. Definitely for peace. Everything, though. But I mean, because it is utilized in some ways, in a lot of levels, but it's just not for us. There are some very successful people of us that are a part of the system, and they are putting their efforts towards that. But towards our liberation, you're 100% right. I can't say anything outside of that.
Yeah, and I'd say we'd have to have our own schools and
our own institutions, period. Our own government, and not work
but
within the system.
Hold it. I'm talking about the schools specifically. So this programming we're talking about, bro, we could be doing the programming, the right programming, the right knowledge.
Absolutely.
And educating them the reason you want to make it. Okay, so if I was in, say, a shithole country in Europe, and I was sending my kids off to America to make it, the reason you want to make it is so you can come back here and help us rebuild this shithole country. Like, that should be programmed in us, bro. Like, making it is going out there and becoming what you become, and coming back here and staying
a part of it,
of the community. Yeah.
Instead of going and they fishing off our top people that will sell out and help them to the highest benefit, and then move with them and be treated less than with them. But
correct.
They enjoy being treated less than with them, than coming back and developing and expanding
and being even held up. Correct. Being treated more than. Correct, Self. Correct, bro. And if you look at the cost analysis, like we complain about when those folks gentrify our communities.
Wouldn't be allowed.
We could gentrify our own communities. That person with the degree walking the dog, drinking the Starbucks could be a sister who just came out of Howard that moved back in the community. And let me tell you what's going to happen. They can send their children to private schools in the community that we can create, and Let me tell you another benefit. We gentrified our own neighborhood. Now that property we got is gonna what?
It's kind of right. It's gonna be like it was in a lot of neighborhoods that they don't like to talk about, where you had
South Shore.
Yeah,
is one.
Yeah. Once it turned over, because it used to be a Jewish people neighborhood.
Rich, you're right. So the price was already high, and then boom. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But we could gentrify our own community. We always wait for it to get gentrified. And that's the strange thing about it. The same people who complain will move back to those neighborhoods once they've been what? Gentrified.
So I don't know if gentrify is the right word. We should
When it's
go
us.
in and raise our community up and lift our community up. Because gentrify implies that you're moving somebody else in and you're moving somebody out.
True.
And yeah, so we can have a community actually.
But wouldn't the same thing happen? Because if the people coming back to the community are improving the neighborhood and starting businesses and the property value is going up and the property tax is going up, there's going to be people that move out. They might happen to look like us, but they're going to move out.
Well, we can decide to not have that happen, because if we're going to do this, we have to control our communities, and we can't have an outside influence saying who, what, when, or how. The tax base has to go to the community and not outside the community, as far as I'm concerned. I think we need to operate within the system, but outside of the system.
Well, if you're going to operate inside the system, they're going to control the taxes.
And it's outside of it too.
What?
This area over here, and
unincorporated areas.
It ain't even got to be unincorporated. We put some people in, actually, have a vote and put somebody.
Saying.
We send the people, all the aldermen's there, and they're like, "Oh, this is what we're doing here.
Yes,
you're not gonna, change that,
or we're gonna vote you out."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's part of our issue. But when I talk to people, it is depressing, man, and you don't want your children necessarily being raised seeing that and in that mindset necessarily,
Well, if we raise the frequency, the lower frequency is going to leave anyway.
Correct, but initially it's not. Like you tell a kid that's at Stanford and they happen to be African American to move back to, if they might have been from the worst part of Compton, to just move back there.
It's going to be difficult.
What I'm saying is it's about programming their dream. Their
it's going to be difficult.
But it shouldn't be. But we program them, to
get out of there.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Instead of, you can build your nice, beautiful home here, you know what I mean, and be in your community. You can start a business right there, start making some money. Like, we don't do that.
A very minimal amount of us do. Because there are some.
There are some, bro. You're right.
I still live in my community.
Yeah.
I still live in my community.
Yeah.
And, what I mean? You live in the community where you are. It's not,
Yeah, but I didn't go out and, get a whole big, although.
But the mentality is first.
Yeah,
and
it was
the
there.
energy, the frequency is more important than the money. So.
Yeah, so you're right,
and
though.
you talk to everybody, bro. That's one thing I can say for you about you. You are straight up, you're 100% with whoever is in your frequency, whoever can hear you.
Yeah, I don't care if it's the Prime Minister of Israel or
treat
the
them
leader
like
of Hezbollah. We're going to have the same conversation, bro.
Or Pookie. Or the oath-breaking police.
Kamala. Kamala or Trump. So we're going to have the same conversation. Yeah, so it definitely start with the education, man, and you probably want to have some parenting
help. Some, I don't want to say classes. I just want to say have a
resource.
Yeah, and some fallbacks. So, you got to work and you can't be there. Somebody's going to be there. Somebody's going to step in.
And you know what, bro?
And
we got to change.
Definitely health too. I mean, I don't mean to change, but I just didn't want to forget.
Well, you mentioned accountability. How can
Yes.
we as parents in our community, on the one hand, say, yeah, they're not rehabilitating inmates, but then not you, but then most of our punishments are based upon either a spanking or putting them in punishment, taking something away. Our punishment should be kind of like a coach's punishment was. You're going to run. I don't mean run, but whatever it is they're doing. If they're playing a guitar, you're going to be in the house. I'm going to make you hate this guitar. You know what I mean? I better hear this guitar playing all day. When I'm saying that should be their punishment. You can't. What I'm saying, you can't go outside and they on the internet all day. Their punishment should be learning a trade. Their punishment should be working on a craft. That's all I'm saying. That's what those Asians do. You go in there and you do math and
If you call
science.
it punishment, then they're not going to enjoy it.
My football coach called it opportunity.
Okay,
it sure
and
felt like punishment.
that's a different word, which, you know, but if you call it punishment, it's never going to be. I don't think people are going to ingratiate themselves and do it at the best level initially. I'll say initially. They might learn to love it. But I feel you on alternative forms of
Programming.
I think we need to, some of the words that we use are spells and they produce negative results. And I think we should not engage in that. Punishment being one of those words. You can make somebody accountable without calling it punishment.
So what do you call it? Easy
Adjustment.
to talk about what not to say, but
adjustment.
That sounds like the SS.
Sound like what?
Adjustment?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that sounds. I don't know if I like that.
Punishment? You like punishment and don't like adjustment? You know.
I mean, okay. I mean, it sounds like brainwashing. You know, it sounds
that's all
like
punishment is, really. Adjustment, punishment.
You don't like punishment. I don't like adjustment. I'm not gonna like everything you like. Find another word. Opportunity.
Reevaluation.
I don't know. You call it what you want. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, bro. Like, there's got to be accountability.
Well, accountability is what I started with, so I guess that's what it should be.
Yeah, I don't know. What do y'all think?
See how we make people become accountable. I just saying, hey, you got to be accountable for what you do. You did this, so you can't do that.
So you got to go and you got to work on your
punishment.
Yeah, so you got to work on your improvement. So if you're a basketball player now, you got to play back. But see, that can make them hate it. But at some point, I don't care. That's what I'm saying. There's got to be some accountability. Like, what are you gonna do? Just
accountability is the best word. I don't know what we should go anywhere past that.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna get you on your. You got two days in accountability. All right. You got a month of accountability.
You didn't do this, so you got to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Because you didn't do this, you got to do that.
Yeah, I like that. That's fair. Accountability.
Yeah.
Got to be some accountability, bro.
100%.
And it should be based on making you better.
Absolutely.
Not just, you see what I'm saying? Not
Nonsense.
Just, yeah, punishment for the sake of punishment.
Not just writing lines or standing in a corner or
correct
getting hit with something.
Yeah, if you got me standing here writing lines, why didn't you tell me to write a story?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, something that's going to improve you.
Yeah.
And you do something in basketball instead of just completely running, you add some skills drills to that.
I mean, some of this stuff we don't have to reinvent the wheel, bro. I have a feeling we just need to go back in time and figure out what was going on. But they weren't dealing with the radio, the internet. Like you keep talking about the information age. That ain't all good, man. That's how the misinformation is getting pumped into our community, bro.
Yeah, and that always goes back to accountability too, because bad information is gonna have bad results. But a lot of hidden information is being released and people have the opportunity to see it. Everybody's not going to go for it or do it, but more and more of us are.
All right, so everybody wakes up, they get all this information, they figure out, this is okay. I'm an indigenous American. That's what you want to say. All right, then what's gonna happen? You're still up against the United States government the same way your ancestors were.
Well, if we work together, we can do whatever we want in the unincorporated areas, and it's not illegal to hold our own government or do what we need to do. And the states give the federal government power and not the other way around. That's what's been confused, and it's even in their constitution.
Of course. Well, we're still up against the state government.
Well, we will shut down their whole system. Because if we come together and operate within ourselves, we don't have to work for them. We can operate in our own areas. And if we don't work with them, their whole shit collapses. Period, point blank. It's a large government. If we don't work within it or with it, it'll be futile.
All right. Anybody got any comments? Let us know. We were just talking about neighborhood to manhood, and disagreement as far as when it comes to people getting some foundational scripture. I don't care what scripture it is. Even the indigenous ancestors had something foundational they were giving those children. They weren't just letting them run around and not believe in, even if it was their ancestors. Everybody has to have something.
You are confusing what I'm saying. I'm just saying that those things tend to separate people. And some of them are even similar. All the principles are similar, but because it's coming from a certain group, they won't listen. So I'm saying that you do that within your group, but we come together as a unit on what we agree upon and not worry about what we don't agree upon.
Question. Would you rather live in a neighborhood and the other side was a bunch of Muslims and Muslim kids, Nation of Islam kids, and your side was a bunch of Christian kids, young teens? I'm just asking. Or that's not there. It's not there at all. And you got the folks on one side and the vice lords on the other. Which one would you feel better for your family?
This is going right back to what I just said, that I said those things are necessary within those areas that brings community amongst those areas, but it doesn't bring community together. And I just want us to worry about that's still necessary as far as I'm concerned.
But that's exactly what brings a community together.
It doesn't bring everybody together, because Christians don't do with Muslims and don't deal with other religions.
We got to do what we can do, man. We got to do what we can.
You're still missing my whole point, is that we leave that out of the conversation. Those things still happen in those areas, which is still good and still teaching your children in ways you want them to go. But that doesn't,
bro, you get tax breaks.
It doesn't come into play when we come together for our common goals.
It should be well, I got you. I just feel like it's the easiest way. You feel like it's the hardest way.
Well, I just don't think they should. I don't think they should be intertwined in us coming together because it separates so many of us. Just your God, you think your God is better. Your scripture tells you that your God is better, and you shouldn't deal with infidels or heathens or whatever.
Your scripture tells you your God is better. Yeah, they do. No, I think they tell you
It's
one
the only God.
Right.
Well, most of them tell you it's the only God.
Right.
So yeah, if Christian God is the only God, then Muslim God is not that. I don't think that should come into question. I think that the Muslim community and the Christian community and the Jewish community should worry about what's common amongst us and don't worry about what's not. I don't think that it's unnecessary for it to exist, any of them, because they help a lot of people, get a lot of people in order.
Okay, so it could be like a Mason lodge. I think the Masons feel like you, and that's why they do what they do.
Sort of, but I'm not a Mason, so I don't want to get into that.
Well, you know, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. I'm looking for the quickest, best solutions and not a bunch of solutions. It's always going to be pushback on everything.
Right. I'm stating is similar to what Malcolm X said. You lose the religion and come together on commonality. That's the easiest way.
And what commonality would that be?
Oppression, need for reparations, need to make our own institutions.
Fighting a tyrannical government. Yeah, it sounds like Masonry.
Yes.
Sounds like
I'm not a Mason, so I can't, profess Masonry.
Well, to me, it sounds like Masonry, but it sounds like you're talking about subversion.
I'm talking about us coming together on commonality and leave what we think different about out of it.
So we'd have to create some sort of. It's got to be someplace to meet, man. Why are people going to show up? They're going to come to the commonality center. What I mean,
it could be called a commonality center. It could be called anything.
Center.
It could be whatever that people like.
Okay.
These motherfuckers doing this shit to us, and if we come together, we can affect change.
Commonality center. All right.
It could be that. I mean,
we spread the word of commonality throughout the community. Have our principles, right?
Yeah.
This is what we believe. Come to the commonality center. We don't care if you're
what religion you are, right?
What gang you're in, right?
Any of that, anything that separates us.
That's the new world order. That's what I'm saying. Some people would say what you're saying
is our world order, not the new world order, because that's already been branded and it's for a certain purpose and it's against us.
All right, commonality center. I'm just saying there's a lot being done already. Maybe I don't know. I like that though. But there's always, just like I'm not a Mason, I didn't join, maybe you didn't join. There's going to be people who are not going to join the commonality center.
They are going to be.
But that's going to separate us.
We don't need everybody. We need to get to.
So that discounts what I'm saying about simply not reinventing the wheel and rebuilding our churches so we can get our tax breaks and do all the stuff the church has been doing. And if you want to have a commonality room in the back of the church,
it can be commonality and ain't got to be no church. Those are the 501c3. So I mean, we just make a 501c3 and come together. It'll be easier for people to come together if it's not based on religion and God, in my opinion.
You gotta have something to draw them in there.
Shit, we're oppressed and getting fucked over.
And it hasn't happened yet.
Well, because we mainly are separated, and it's a lot. Religion has a lot to do with the separation, in my opinion. And the church ain't what it was. You started off with that, so
Correct. So you would be creating churches that was what it was. That's the point I keep trying to make.
Well, you got to do that anyway, but we don't need church in it, as far as I'm concerned.
All right.
I think we need to work on what we agree upon and leave what we don't agree upon. And religion, they tell you, well,
first of all,
probably not right. They tell you not to even have conversations about religion, which is probably not right. But so many people will not even listen to you if you are spewing something from a different religion. They shut it down. They can't cut it off. They won't even listen.
And do you want those people around you?
Who could work on something, who can listen beside that.
People around that don't listen to something they disagree with. Those are important to the movement.
Well, religion ain't important to the movement. So I don't care about their religion. So I don't want to talk about something that's just going to off-put them from jump.
Are you a Muslim?
Not going to bring them together. No. I'm not a Muslim, a Christian, or Jewish.
But you've listened to Farrakhan?
Yes.
And Khalid Muhammad?
Yes.
And haven't suggested that they were spewing something.
Well, you then again, you're speaking about you and me, and we're not average individuals. We're not individuals that are so indoctrinated that religion would cut them out. There are a lot of people that you know and I know that they won't listen to that.
What will they listen to?
They'll listen to we're getting oppressed or whatever, and these people are doing this to us and this and that. And it don't involve religion in it. But once you talk about this from the Muslim, blah, 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 then they'll shut it down and shut their brain off.
All right. Sounds good. I'm just saying, bro, I just don't want nobody, I really don't want nobody a part of it though. Like, I don't care what you believe in, but you gotta believe in something. Like, you know what I mean?
Once again, I say all of that's necessary. I'm just saying all of that is necessary, but it's not necessary for us to come together.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I'm right, but I'm saying I'm not saying that philosophy is right. I'm just saying, me personally, whatever you're drawing off of, if you're not even willing to listen and communicate, you can't be part of the community.
And certain subject matters I don't think need to be breached or broached so that, it doesn't shut people down off their belief and faith in their religion.
Yeah, I got what you're saying. Because if somebody's a Jewish person, they won't even want to come into a Muslim type of community church.
Period. No environment.
Yeah.
And they won't even listen because they've been indoctrinated that they won't listen.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think we all started with tribes and people are separate for a reason.
A lot of tribes work together.
And that's the point I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You can be separate, but you can still work together at the community center. I mean, at the we're pissed center, right? We're oppressed. Come in here, we're going to be oppressed together, right? All right. And not getting any protections.
And even some tribes, they wouldn't talk about coming together if they talking shit about their tribe. You know what I mean? Or if their tribe believes that certain things, bring that into effect.
You've made me want to join the Masons because overall, it seems like they're all working together. They don't talk about religion, according to what I think. And they have different races and colors and creeds.
According to their creeds. And
they're working for one common goal, which I don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's probably some of the same things we're discussing. And it's like Ryan reinvent the wheel is already invented. But then I guess we're going to say, oh, but I'm not amazing. I don't want to be amazing. Well, you know, everybody doesn't want to be something. And that's why I'm saying, how can we build this center and then they're not going to show up because they're going to be like, I don't know if those guys are doing it. You know what I mean? I don't trust those guys. You know, that's all I'm saying. Maybe it's
I
just a
mean,
thought
Masons is
experiment.
already an established whole establishment. We need something new. We don't need it called anything that's been called already. Even if we're not reinventing the wheel,
Yeah.
we need to call it something different because people have preconceived notions about all of this stuff.
That's what I'm saying. But that's the whole reason why they were. So eventually, whatever we create, there's going to be people who garner preconceived notions about whatever we create. But that can't stop us from creating it.
No, it can't, but it doesn't need to be religion based because we know that that's a separating force. It's my whole premise.
Okay. Okay. All right. I think you're missing a point, though. I still think you're missing a point.
I'm not, because all those things are necessary.
It's not so much
separate
about the religious science.
as a person.
Yeah. We have to talk offline. It's you know, but all right. I don't know. We didn't get no hubbub. Nobody's saying anything, so we don't know what's going on. I'll tell you what I'm going to do here, fella. Let's go ahead and because I mean, that's messed up.
Just want to shut down the closed minds, the people that could come together on commonality, but won't if religion is involved because of their beliefs and their tenets and how they feel about it.
Okay, so then there's going to be a bunch of people who won't even want to come to our center because they're already brainwashed. According to you, they don't want to listen to nothing. So, like, what are we talking about?
No, we're not talking about God. And we're not talking about they don't want to listen to nothing. We're coming on something that's common amongst all of us.
But I'm saying they'll show up and be like, man, if you ain't talking about Jesus or Muhammad or something like that, I'm already doing this through my synagogue and my church. Like,
no, they're not, because nothing's changing. So they ain't doing shit as far as I'm concerned. And that's my personal opinion.
Right. But that's not how they feel. That's why they're attending those churches. You see what I'm saying? That's why they're attending those churches. And then they come around. All right. But they might not. They might not, because people have joined the Masons. Again, I'm not a Mason. He's not a Mason. And I'm sure they have their religions when they join. And I don't know, what goes on from there. So are we telling everybody to drop their religion once they because we don't want you to be divisive.
At all.
We just don't want you discussing religion. So we're gonna be just like the man and tell everybody don't talk about religion.
No, you can talk about your religion, but that's gonna lead to discontention. I'm just saying,
dissent. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I just want to leave that out. I know that we don't agree on. A lot of us don't agree on that shit.
Yeah, it's true. And
so
then there's the non-believers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Who don't believe none of that.
Yeah.
But they do know that they're being oppressed, and they know that they, what have you. And we come together in the name of that.
All right, we can do that. But and we'll start meeting at the Mason Lodge because they always rent out. You know what I mean? You can rent out for the events. They're not going to show up. It's already built, Self. I mean, you got to live it.
There are plenty of empty spaces.
Event centers that don't have nothing to do with.
There's churches and mosque and all that that's deserted. There's nobody there. You buy that and you put community center on it or whatever, commonality center, and
the commonality center.
And you
I like that.
don't talk about no religion.
Do we put up all the crosses like that bumper sticker? It's got the cross. It's got the 6-point star.
No.
It's got the 5-point star. It's got the quarter moon.
No.
You don't do that for the Everybody Center?
No.
You don't want nothing in there that could make anybody think about religion. I'm in agreement with you. I'm just having fun.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, I don't want any of that. I don't want anything that's a motherfucker walk up to and be like, oh, hell no. This is some bullshit. You know what I mean? And it gotta live by the people there working it have to live by very pure
yeah, I mean, what you're saying is right. Historically, the church has just been the place that we had that was already there where people can have those meetings and the church would open up their doors like after hours and not tell Whitey about it. And that's what snitching was when you went there and said, they're having a meeting today and they're talking about they're being oppressed. You know what I mean? You know, guys like Corch, we're not going to say his name. I have a feeling he'd be in there filming it, you know what I mean? I do. At this point, I'm not going to apologize for it. He'd go straight to the man, you know what I mean? It'd smack him on his bum. You know, and come there with the guns ablazing and shoot all of us up. You know what I mean? And say we were terrorists. You know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand that.
How do you avoid that?
You can't avoid somebody's going to sell out. But you have to be able to speak in a way and
we did a good job at Beta.
Yeah.
We did a damn good job.
And
you know why that was? Programming. There's got to be some programming somewhere, fella.
Well, there's really no way around that. We have to have a program, and we have to
deprogramming
and adhere to it.
Yes,
we have to all adhere to it, and we have to work towards a common goal to get where we need to go.
There's no way around that. A base program that everybody adheres to. Whatever you're doing outside the base program is your business, is what you're saying. We're not going to judge you, and we don't care as long as you're not harming anyone else.
Yes.
But the base program is, and I would dare say maybe that's the 10 Commandments.
That's how we move.
No?
Then you're going back into some religious.
I'm just saying, you got a problem with the 10 Commandments. No. I'm not talking about the fact that it's a religious doctrine. I'm saying what the rules say for a community.
Okay, it has to be some things that we follow, but it should. I don't think we have to tell our community that you should not kill. You know what I mean? You know, I don't think that that's necessary. I think
you shall not sell drugs. Yeah, we got to come up with our own commandments, bro.
Yes, that's my whole thing.
You shall not sell fentanyl and certain poisons.
Well, we don't sell too much fentanyl. That's a cap.
But I'm saying, well, it's still got to be. We got to have some rules, bro. Like,
yeah, I agree. But
thou shalt not be assaulting women.
Religious doctrine per se.
Yeah, we got to come up with something.
Yes, I agree. It's got to be something that we hold each other, that there's accountability for.
Thou shalt not spend your money with Pinky. Yeah?
Yeah, that works.
Or how about this? Thou shalt spend your money with your brother. That sounds even better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
All right. You got any more? Thou shalt not kill your brother.
Yeah.
How about this? Thou shalt love your brother. How about that?
That's good.
And then there's no kill suggested.
Right. Or if you weren't gonna say thou shalt not kill your brother, thou shalt not kill except in self-defense.
Yeah. So we'll have no negatives. It'll be all thou shalt, because people like to be, you know what I mean? Yeah. They don't like to be told.
That's better for programming.
Yeah. Thou shalt. Get up and go to work every day. Do something. No, we don't have to talk about that.
No.
Thou shalt
work for your community. Thou shalt produce.
Thou shalt work to improve your yes.
Thou shalt produce for your community. Thou shalt
create something new for your community.
Be true to your community.
Yeah. Thou shalt create something new for your community. You know what I mean? Good. Something new. You know, we got to have good programming.
Something good. I don't know. Everybody can't produce something new.
Everybody can.
Especially under a sun, when there's really nothing new under a sun.
Yeah. Well, we're fractals. What's the point for not creating nothing new?
It's an impossibility if we're fractals.
Correct.
So everything is already created if we're fractals. So they shall produce for your community. Create for your community. I don't know.
So you make a song, you make a song, you biting everything? You biting?
It's put together in a way, but it's the subject has been already spoken of. No, the program, the
Self Luv Show ain't new.
The subject matter has already been breached and approached before and spoken about from other people, so it's not a new subject. I mean, we speak our own perspective, but it's not a new subject. It's not new.
Yeah, I know. But that's scripture. There's nothing new under the sun. So
Yeah,
you got some people who won't even listen to you when you say that. All right.
Yeah, so you don't say a scripture. Just say,
but that's the importance of scripture. It's a wobbler, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
It's not. It's important that it's for people that's religious and in that sector, it is. But for those who are not, it's not. And there's some people who won't listen to shit that come from the Bible. You start saying it's from the Bible, it's scripture, then they shut off.
There's some people who won't wipe their ass. What's that got to do with me?
Well, if we're trying to get on line with everybody, we can't go by necessarily you and me because we're not common people. We're not common people.
But are we trying to get in line with everybody? That becomes the question.
It's not everybody, but it's a critical mass that can move in the direction we want to move. And the people that's not going to, when we come up with whatever the so-called commandments that we have for our organization, who don't, then they don't. We don't worry about them.
Yeah. All right.
That's fair enough. Commonality. If they don't have a same mind state or can't work within what we're doing, then they're not part of it.
Yeah. Fair enough. All right. Yeah, we're going to come up with some commandments. Anybody got some ideas? Y'all let us know. Don't put it in the negative, put it in the affirmative. Yeah, and then we'll go from there because you got to come up with something. Maybe I'll join the Masons and see what the hell they got going on in there, move all the way up, and then we can use some of that for
they might have a problem with that, but okay.
I'm not saying I'd make all this stuff public, you know what I mean? I don't move like that, but I'm saying, could whittle some of this here and whittle some of that there, bro. It's a thought experiment, you know? Yeah, I mean, there's guys 70 years old joining frat today. Ed Reed, did you see Ed Reed? He's a nuke now. Ed Reed, what? Hall of Fame. He's a Kappa.
Oh, okay. He's a Kappa, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Ed Reed. Yeah.
He's a Kappa.
Did you see the picture?
No.
I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and get to the poll results. Let's get to the poll question. Yeah, I don't know what happened while your thing had cut off. It said somebody else was using your account.
Yeah.
The second time that's happened.
Yeah, but the first time it was me.
Oh.
I had it playing on my phone and on there. It was me. That's why I switched to this account. And nobody was playing anything on that account. That was just
hacking.
Yes. Shutting it down.
What's the biggest issue traditionally facing the Chicago Bears franchise? No one blamed the fan base. No one victim blamed here.
Well, one did.
He didn't have his voice heard, so
he didn't put it up there, but he put it right on the chat.
Whoever's voice ain't heard. But you're right. Thanks for pointing that out. DJ Creeper would have been one. Let's see what the chat said and see that some of this. Nobody else said nothing.
That's the only person that said anything.
Dempsey said bad management.
Oh, yes, he did. He agreed. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, Dempsey. All right. Now, poor player talent, such as, not having a quarterback, although I take exception to that. Jimbo McMahon was a great, tough SOB. He was our quarterback, and anybody doesn't like it, he was a punky QB. That's right. Anybody doesn't like it,
And on top of that, when he left the Bears, he became an excellent quarterback.
Yeah, he got the job done with the Bears. He was just hurt all the time.
But he had some floppy, or some. You were like, what the hell was that with the Bears? He got much better after, but he was
Monday Night Football against Minnesota. He was hurt and they threw him in the game because they was on that BS, and he was clutch too. And
yes, now that's one thing he was clutch.
Yeah, and then he always bucked. He wasn't a conformist with Nationals. I mean, with the league office, he wasn't a conformist.
Yeah, period. And when he left the Bears, he became an excellent quarterback. Though that dude was excellent.
That's what I'm saying.
He won the Super Bowl with Green Bay.
I'll take a. He won the Super Bowl in Chicago.
Yeah,
I take offense. All right. Coaching. 14% said we traditionally had bad coaching, and I think ultimately everyone's right. 71%, including, then we have to add my man in there. 71% are blaming ownership, upper management, GMs, because it all goes hand in hand. What did you say?
I basically said ownership, management. That's what I said, because I mean, they had a non-football guy running things for a very long time. Very long time.
Yeah, he said he's just a fan.
Ted Phillips, he was yeah, they had him running things for a very long time.
He rubbed people the wrong way. He used to come around Hallis
He
all
was
talk
just
to the players.
asinine. He didn't know what he was doing out there. He's a friend of the family. They loved him, and they let him run the shit into the ground for a long time.
All right. So that was my vote too, by the way. At this point, I mean, if you're going into a business self and they're like under new management, every time you cover there, it's the same owners, it's a crap product under new management, because they do that. A lot of businesses do that under those furniture companies, under new management. You think somebody new bought it under new management? Guess what?
Especially restaurants.
The owners suck. Yeah.
That's what sucks. They're putting management in place.
Yeah, because they're underpaying them. They went out and got somebody.
They might not be underpaying with this established bullshit as foundation.
The Hallis family is
some
cheap.
Clown in front of it. They put some clown in front of it. Ted Phillips, I guarantee you, was getting paid. Now they might not had paid the players for a long time,
or the coaches, or the GM.
Eventually line, and they eventually did, because Urlacher got contracts.
Yeah, but they're
forward.
They're cheap. Are you arguing that the Hallis family is cheap?
I would have up until when Lovey was coaching. Now I don't know about his pay or whatever, but they paid players.
2 years ago, Olin Cruz came out and said they offered him $15 an hour to consult with the offensive line. This was 2 years ago.
Well, that's I'm talking about the players, so that's something I didn't know.
You think
that's crap.
You think cheaper flus? You think they could have?
Well, that's why they hired all new people, I guess. But
that's what I'm saying.
I don't understand why they. I just really never understood this.
Is anywhere near the highest paid GM in football? You think?
No, but I bet he's not the lowest. That's my whole thing. And they used to make them. They used to be the lowest.
Well,
I think they paid Dicker.
His contract was so low, they didn't even release it to the media, and they didn't release Eberflus's money to the media either, because they're cheap. And that's why they're not getting any good people in here, because they're cheap. And essentially, that's the problem with management. They're cheap. They can't get good football guys because they're cheap. If you have the experience to run the restaurant and you came to my place and I offered you $5 an hour and I'm paying the other employees $4 an hour, you're not going to take that job. That's all I'm saying. That McCaskey family.
I know for a fact that
they moved off Justin Fields because they're cheap.
Well, he also didn't produce.
All right.
I mean,
yeah.
They paid who they wanted to pay, and they've come up to league.
Urlacher, they moved off Urlacher because they were cheap. They made him retire because they were $1 million away from the contract he wanted, and then brought in some bum linebacker the next year. And Urlacher retired. We could have got 2-3 more years out of Urlacher, bro.
He was washed.
All right. All right. The McCaskies aren't cheap, guys. All right.
They were historically cheap.
Again. They just offered Olin Cruz $15 an hour. He came out there on the podcast and said that they offered him $15 an hour to consult with the team. So, Olin Cruz, former Pro Bowler.
They didn't want him.
Okay. All right.
Anybody you want, you're not gonna.
If you don't want someone, you just
Minimum
say,
game
"I
change.
don't want you." You don't spit in their face.
Well, you might. You might. I'm trying to remember how he left the Bears.
He's just been outspoken against the organization, calling them cheap, and then that's why they don't ever bring in. I don't know. Screw the Bears. We'll be back to this next week. I want to get the riddle. All right, let's go to the riddle.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I am taken from a mine and shut up in a wooden case from which I am never released, and yet I am used by almost every person. Self love.
Pencil.
Yeah, came up with it at the last second. Clutch. How'd you get that?
It just came to me when I looked at it once we're at the end and it's time to say it.
That's incredible. That is really incredible. He's right. Pencil. Nobody came up with that once again. But Brother Wordsmith, he's matriculating. You should notice he's getting better at it. Well, he's always been good at it, but
I left it alone until right now. I said, "Oh, you said the riddle." I looked up there and read it and said, "Oh."
Yeah, that's how the brain is. But when you first looked at it, your brain's been processing it ever since.
My soul,
Yeah.
brain, not my brain, because our brain is just the instrument. It interprets all of the senses, but
Thanks.
we think from our gut. Our main tool of sprouting information is our gut, from my personal opinion. Our soul, and that's the brain, and the gut is the connection to the soul.
Yeah, the soul actually extends out from your body.
Oh yeah, so your soul is not in your body. Your body is in your soul.
Yeah. Well said. All right, if you enjoyed today's discussion, please like, subscribe, repost, and share your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, remember to stay curious, stay informed, stay engaged, and most importantly, stay true to self. Show some love to self and others around you. Remember, ask not what our culture can do for you, but what you can do for our culture to help us unburden the burdens that's been burdened historically. Silence is violence, and as always, question everything. The Self Love Show ain't Kansas, Toto. Peer down those rabbit holes. Do your own research. Use caution and discernment, because sometimes when you do stare into the abyss, well, the abyss is going to stare right back at you. Peace, self-love, honor, and respect. All right there, fella. You got any big ups? Shout outs?
Shout out to my son.
Yeah.
Love you much.
The Prince.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, watch Michael Jordan on defense. Watch him off the ball. Whenever, don't just pay attention to him when he's on the ball. Watch him off the ball. Tori, when I started doing that, man, my defense went to a whole nother level.
Just isolate him all game.
Yeah.
Watch film.
Whether he has the ball or not. Yes. On both sides of the ball.
Yes.
Yes.
Entirely. Everything.
Everything.
The most fundamentally sound player I've ever seen. And with his athleticism, unparalleled.
Bottom line. I mean, I don't think we ever really seen him shoot air balls until maybe one air ball in his career. You just didn't see it. You just didn't see it.
He shot some. I mean, there was, he got fouled. There were, no call. There were people throwing the ball with 2 seconds on the shot clock. It happens.
I don't remember.
He missed layups too. I mean, it doesn't happen.
It
doesn't happen often, but it happens.
Missing layups, bro. Come on, man.
Yes, bro.
Come on,
He missed some layups. He missed some layups.
When he was at Washington?
No.
You're talking about wide open layups.
I don't want to say
do stuff
wide
like
open
that, man.
layups. Yeah, he did. There's some. Not very often. Very rare.
We're just arguing for the sake of arguing at this point, you guys. That's what we're doing. We're just arguing for the sake of arguing.
It's not arguing. We're just stating facts.
All right. Mike was shooting air balls and blowing crips.
He has. I didn't say he was doing that at a regular basis or anything short, but he did miss layups and he did shoot air balls. I mean,
okay. All right.
He's the greatest player ever, but that just shows you that it can happen to any and everybody.
Okay. And this brings me to my personal favorite part of the whole shebang. Oh, wait a minute. You got time. Because I forgot to tell them next week. But we don't know what's coming next week. We'll see. Maybe we'll get 4 Nic 7-4. I'm actually working on someone else from that film. See if maybe we can get someone else from the Triple Eight to sit with us. So we're working on that. Yeah, so we'll see, but we'll definitely, have some prime content ready for you guys. And yeah. All right. So there we go. And this brings me back to my personal favorite part of the whole shebang. And that's Wordsmith's final words out there.
Yes, y'all. It don't stop. Self Love Show rocks on. Sometimes things don't go as planned. That's when you really have to step up and be a man and move forward in the right direction, even though it wasn't your first selection. You gotta deal with some sort of correction and move in the right direction. That's what the Self Love Show does. We have an election and move in our own way and put our mental skills on display and have discussions. Trusting our own creator. How to evaluate and demonstrate a grown man action, grown man moves. We grown men, that's why we prove. Every week, we bring a unique perspective. Call me a lie. I will correct you. So today we built on the fundamentals. We made it simple over our minds. Made sure we show the grind. We love y'all for watching, listening, helping us be part of the intervention. Because we all been indoctrinated by these cruel schools, bogus laws, and politicians. When we know the truth is, we should be representing ourselves. It ain't hard to tell, but we better electrocute like the third rail, which executes all the powers, hour after hour. We gotta devour the cowards. because there's so many of them out there. They ain't rare as they should be, but they disappearing slowly. Got to get rid of the sellouts looking to provide greater for themselves. And move together as a group so we can all excel. The system that we living in is not giving us what we need to persist at the highest level like we gave it. Because this was built upon our backs, our mind, and we never slacked. Created almost every creation. Calls civilization's elevation. This ain't no perpetration. This is what happened and what's real. Look at all the inventions. This is the old world. No matter what they say, it was new to them because of the day they found out. Can't discover nothing. There was people there. So I need everyone to look within, deep. Pretend like you're the first one in creation. Focus on the world the way you want it to be. Peacefully, not hurting nobody else that you see. There's enough for everyone under the sun. Words.
Words. Splendiferous there, fella. Splendiferous. Hey, your boy Lupe, Chicago's very own. He said, did you improve on the design? Did you do something new? It's going to be the 9 commandments because that's completion. So, to our discussion about doing something new for the community, thou shalt improve the community and or do something new. Correct.
Do you think you are the one?
Honestly, I don't know.
You know what that means? It's Latin. Means know thyself.
Girl, my tears.
Man, know thyself. I will eat the right foods
That I grow myself.
Cause the wrong way stole
my health.
I'm glad to be me now and nobody else.
Man, know thyself.
I will eat the right foods
That I grow myself.
Cause the wrong way stole
my health.
I'm glad to be me now and nobody else. Yo,
Bullets.
getting the code and all the scriptures, potions and elixirs.
Come on, Karen. Bullets. A boomerang.
Stand your ground.
Murder is suicide.
Yeah, well, an eye for an eye.
Silence is violence.
See something, say something.
You want to be a slave? Vibrate greed. Ego. Fear. That's how they make you a slave. You end up in prison.
Okay. As I know for sure, charity plus humility times love is freedom.
That's how you get out. Do not answer questions.
Question everything.
Fear is cap. It's an illusion.
Yeah. Vibrate love.
See if you can hear it. You never die when you breathe in the Holy Spirit. Swine ain't divine, the people they won't go near it. Salad bar, spit it, not your average hard here to bring you back to God. Said it just like Master Far sent you. The end ain't always happy.
And forgiveness is love's supreme vibration.
So, do something charitable for a so-called enemy and end a beef.
Healthy people, heal thy people. That's a commandment.
Yeah, because hurt people, for sure, gonna try to hurt people.
Free Larry Hoover, man, like Big Meech.
Free Jeff Floyd.
Free all the guys, man.
Prison to slavery.
Check that 13th Amendment if you don't believe him. And be Yah. Walk on water.
Man. Move mountains.
Oh, mountain no.
Yes, sir. Week by week, that mountain is getting weak. It's moving. Look at it.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Being the one is just like being in love. No one can tell you you're in love, you just know it. Through and through. Balls to bones.
Still got them, bro.
Got mine.
Same, man. Stop snitching on yourself. Take school seriously.